guys, it's Cody and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the sewing supplies that I use for my cosplays. These are kind of the ones that I feel like are essential for any cosplayer, and no, I'm not talking about the typical stuff like a machine, needle, thread, etc. I'm talking about like the ones that are a little bit more like not as well known, but I highly recommend you get them anyway because they are so good for cosplay. So without further ado, let's just jump into the video. Here are my 5 sewing essentials for cosplay. Okay, so my first sewing essential is a measuring gauge. These are really good to have on hand. When I discovered these, it completely changed my life. So measuring gauges look like this for the most part. There are some variations here and there, but this is the one that I've seen the most of. And as you guys can see, it has this little slide thing going on. So what you do is you go ahead and slide it to the measurement that you want it at, and then hold it up against your fabric or your paper or whatever, and then use that to trace it out. This is perfect for patterning, for marking out seam allowances, hems, etc. So this is definitely my first recommendation. You definitely want to get one of these. Alright, so my second sewing essential for cosplay is sewing pins. They don't come like this. I just stuck it in an empty Tic Tac container, but this is what they look like. So if you guys have experimented with the fabrics, you know that there are certain materials that if you poke it with a pin, it's gonna leave a mark and it's gonna be permanent and it's never gonna be a good look. So if you're working with a fabric like that, I would recommend using these clips instead, because not only will it do the job of holding your fabrics together, it will not leave a permanent mark, which is awesome. So especially for things like pleather, lycra, anything of that nature, basically anything with like a PVC backing on it, you're definitely going to want to use one of these. So they come in packets and you can just purchase them at any kind of craft store. And the best thing of all is that if you're wanting to figure out your seam allowance, the clamp space in between from the edge to the hinge is ½ an inch. So if you need to mark out your seam allowance with ½ an inch, there you go. Alright, so my third sewing essential for cosplay is a point turner and seam creaser. I know that sounds like 2 different things, but it is one tool. So whenever you turn something inside out that has like a corner or a curve, have you ever noticed that you sometimes just can't get the curves completely out or pull up the corners out completely to get that nice sharp edge? Well, this tool will help you out a lot. So you're going to use this curved end for any curved things, so things like, you know, Peter Pan collars and things like that, and the pointing one for any corners. So do be a little careful, especially with this pointed one. If you poke it too hard, it may rip the fabric. So as long as you just gently nudge it out, it will be perfectly fine. So this is definitely really awesome to get that nice crisp edge to your stuff when you turn it inside out. Alright, so my fourth sewing essential for cosplay are actually 2 items, and that is a seam roll and tailor's ham. These are not really for sewing, however, ironing is a big essential part of sewing, so these are sewing essentials in a way. So these 2 items are specifically used for ironing. So this is especially true when you're dealing with sleeves. So when you get the tailor's ham, if you notice when it comes to sleeves, they're very curvy and sometimes it's hard to get them to lay flat. So what you do is you stick the tailor's ham into the sleeve head and then press it down on that, and that'll give it a nice little curve for which to lay on. Versus if you lay it flat, you're gonna get those like, you know, creases in there when you try to iron it down onto a flat surface. This will give you a bit of a curved surface to iron on, so you're gonna get not as many creases. You're still gonna have to be careful, but it's not gonna be as dramatic as if you do it completely flat. As for this one, this is specifically made for sleeves. However, you can use this for when you're hemming like pants and stuff like that. So again, same thing, just stick it in and then use it to iron on that. Like I said, this is especially good for sleeves because then that way you're not getting like a weird crease in the middle when you iron it out flat. You're getting like a nice little curved surface to iron your sleeves on. Yeah, these 2, total essentials. Alright guys, so my 5th and final sewing essential for cosplayers is a mannequin in your size. I really like having a mannequin because it saves so much trouble from the effort of, you know, getting in front of a mirror, putting on your costume, you know, trying to fiddle with it in the mirror, make sure everything looks good. Having a mannequin will kind of just X out all that need for you. I still recommend making sure you check it on yourself. However, having a mannequin will cut down the amount of fiddling in the mirror that you do by a hell of a lot more. Now, I did purchase a mannequin pre-made. I actually did get one that is adjustable, so let me pop this jacket open. So as you can see, there's these little like nuts in here, and these will allow me to adjust the sizing if needed. Now, as you can probably tell, this is the priciest essential that I'm talking about in this video. However, you don't necessarily have to purchase this store-bought. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube where you can create your own mannequin out of duct tape and saran wrap. So if you want a cheaper option and you don't really need like all the fiddling in the adjusting and stuff like that, I recommend looking up any of the tutorials on how to do a duct tape mannequin online, because then that'll be a very, very cheap alternative. You won't be spending as much money as getting a pre-made mannequin. So yeah, this is my final essential item. Alright guys, so that is my 5 sewing essentials for cosplay. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you have any sewing essentials that you have, or any essentials for cosplay in general, please leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to see more cosplay stuff from me. Or if you want to check out me dancing, please check out my dance channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!